Hey everyone, if you died tomorrow without a will or any other kind of estate plan, what would happen to all of your assets? Hi, my name is Eric Skruwala, and even if you think you don't have an estate plan, in reality, everybody does. It's just that if you've not created a will or a trust that determines how your assets should be distributed when you die, the state's going to step in and decide how your property will be distributed. It's called the law of intestacy, and that's a fancy legal term, but basically it says that upon your death, that certain people in a certain order are going to get your property. Now, first priority is going to be any spouse you leave behind. If you leave behind a spouse with no children, then your spouse gets everything, and that may be okay for you. But let's add some children to the mix. If you leave behind a surviving spouse and children, they're going to split. The children are going to get half of your estate, and the surviving spouse is going to get half of your estate. Now, where this creates a problem is when the kids are under the age of 18, because they're not able to legally inherit. And what that means is a court's going to appoint somebody to look after the children's inheritance until they reach the age of 18. That's not necessarily going to be the surviving spouse. And the expense of the person that's appointed is going to be borne by the kids out of their inheritance. And that's a result I think a lot of people would want to avoid. Now, if you're wondering about what would happen if, a childless aunt passes away and, they didn't have a spouse, they don't have any children, well, then the law essentially looks at concentric circles of relationships that extend outward. So it would be siblings, and then it would be nieces and nephews and cousins. But it would essentially be a larger and larger circle of more distant relatives would be entitled to distribution of those assets of the aunt when she passes away. If you have any questions about this, want to talk to us further, feel free to give us a shout. Until next time, take care. Bye.